Social UK. Most of you know me by now, but for those of you that are new here, hello, my name's Tish and welcome to my channel. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the notifications if you never want to miss another video from me. I'm thinking about doing a more personal get to know me life update video, so if that's something that you're interested in seeing, then please let me know. I might also look at answering some common questions that I get on YouTube and Instagram, so if there's anything you'd like to know, then please feel free to pop it in the comments below. Today I'm back in familiar territories reviewing an SUV, and it's a pretty funky looking one at that. This is the new Citroen C5 Aircross. Now Citroen isn't afraid to stand out. With German competitors like the Volkswagen Tiguan, Skoda Karoq and Audi Q3 all sharing very similar styling, the Aircross C5 breaks the mould. Whether that's a good thing in your eyes is completely up to you. Personally, I think unlike its German competitors, the Citroen is looking to appeal to adults and children alike, giving the car a somewhat less grown-up feel, but undoubtedly it does make you smile. Starting with this front grille, the C5 has a somewhat topsy-turvy look, with the indicator lights actually situated on top of the headlights for a change. The bonnet is also high and curvaceous. There are some funky styled air vents, some which serve a purpose and others not so much. As well as adding an element of style to the C5, these rubber parts stop people from banging their doors against yours. They actually run all the way to the bottom of the door as well. And that means when you open it up, the bottom of the sill doesn't get dirty, meaning that your clothes stay clean. As this is the top spec model, it has these 19-inch bi-tone art diamond cut alloy wheels. For a very reasonable £100 more, you can opt for those to be in gloss black, and everything looks better in gloss black. Or is that just me? So inside there's some great points and then there's some not so great points about the C5, but let's start with something that they've absolutely nailed, and that is how comfortable these seats are. In fact, when Citroen were designing these seats, they actually looked at the way that people design mattresses to make sure that they were super comfy, and they really have absolutely nailed it. So because this is a Flare Plus model, that you get half leather seats, there is an option of about £1,700 to have full leather, but to be honest, these are plenty comfortable enough. There are lots of soft touch, high quality materials inside. They've also carried through the quirky styling with all of this different square bubble-like effect, including here on the doors, slightly squared off steering wheel and square air vents. With a starting point of just under £24,000, the equipment that you get on the C5 is massive. Starting off with the entry-level feel, you get an 8-inch colour touchscreen, dual zone climate control, Apple and Android CarPlay, a digital driver's display, auto emergency braking and rear parking sensors. Then there's the Flare, which has a few extra bits, mostly to do with styling. LED indicators, rear tinted windows, front parking sensors, a reversing camera with surround view, and a TomTom satellite navigation system. Plus electric seats. Is this awkward yet? And last but not least, starting from £28,000 is this, the Flare Plus. That comes with adaptive cruise control and lane assist and this really nice pan sunroof. As well as all of that, it also becomes keyless and it gets a hands-free boot. Oh! Oh, it's always easier than it looks. Too much waving. I've always wanted to do that. That all sounds great. So where are those negatives that I mentioned? Well, mostly all of the negatives are surrounded by the infotainment system. See, everything including the adaptive climate control is all done via the screen. Those shortcut buttons are also touch sensitive, and it can be hard to know if you've pressed them in or not. I really do feel like it's just missing some old school twiddly dials. Storage is pretty good, as you'd expect for a car in this class. Those door bins are absolutely massive, and there's also tons of space in this centre armrest as well. And finally, there's a car with a space by the gear stick which is big enough for your iPhone 8 Plus. Not to mention, one of my favourite gadgets, it has wireless charging. The only space that is lacking is in the glove box. Space in the rear is plentiful too. In fact, all three of these rear seats all slide back and forth individually, and they also recline, so it's really easy to get comfortable. Thanks to all three of these seats for being full-sized and separate, there's loads of space for the middle passenger. There's also tons of legroom. You can actually fit 2 child seats either side and a person in the middle, even though that sounds like my worst nightmare. The Citroen C5 Aircross comes in 4 different engines. So you've got 2 petrols and 2 diesels. Starting with the petrols, you've got a 1.2, 130 brake horsepower, and then you've also got, if you need a little bit more power, a 1.6, 170 brake horsepower engine. Now, I would really think that this car is designed for nipping around town, carrying the kids, taking the kids to and from school. And for that, the 1.2 is vastly sufficient. However, if you really did want a bit more punch, then you probably would opt for the 1.6. Then there's the 2 diesels. So they have very similar outputs to the petrols. So you've still got a 130 and a 170. However, they're then from a 1.5 litre diesel engine and also a 2 litre diesel engine. If you're really interested in keeping your fuel economy and running costs low, then the diesels are a great option. So the car that I'm driving is the 1.6 litre petrol engine, and that's paired to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and to be fair, it's an excellent combination. The only problem is it is slightly delayed when you first put your foot down, but once you get there it is nippy and there's plenty of power and pull. On motorways, the C5 is an absolute pleasure to drive, and that's thanks to Citroen's progressive hydraulic cushions on each shock absorber to help keep suspension controlled and give the SUV a pillow-like ride. It absolutely glides along and road noise is really minimal. This is a super quiet car. However, on slightly bendier roads like we're used to here in rural Essex, the car's drive isn't quite as complimentary. Citroen themselves have described the C5 Aircross as a magic carpet ride, but because of the combination of its tall body and soft springs, on country roads it can feel a little bit swayy. I've had a really enjoyable time over the last couple of days with the Citroen C5 Aircross. A massive thank you to Quest Motor Group in Braintree for lending me the car. Don't forget, if you've got any more questions that I haven't covered, or you're thinking of buying a Citroen C5, then why not drop them a message and get them to answer your questions. They're really helpful and nice people, so don't hesitate to get in touch. It's also been really interesting to drive this car, considering recently I've driven the Skoda Karoq, which is a direct competitor of this Aircross. They're very different in different ways. If you want something that's super comfortable with quite a lot of spec, then this is a great option. However, if you want something a bit more grown up and classy, then the Skoda Karoq is also a great option. If you wanted to watch that video, then I'll pop some details and it'll be at the end for you to click. Thank you so much as ever for watching. I really appreciate it, guys, honestly, and please don't forget to give me a subscription. I've got a huge announcement coming up which I think is going to bring some really exciting new content to the channel, so please do subscribe and pop on that bell notification so you never miss another video for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
What else does it do then?
Someone's found the electric seat button.
actually generally feel like I'm at the dentist. Wait.
Your face.
Oh! What's this doing?
Wow.
Well, that's me done.